Covers are so useful at this time of year because they can amplify the sun, which is actually already quite strong, and yet the air is cold. Like out here we were -4 degrees, quite a hard frost this morning. Like I was walking on these pathways and it was scrunch scrunch, and that was only 3 hours ago, and it's kind of turned to spring very quickly. But a cover like this, it's not going to keep the frost out, but it keeps enough of it out and gives a bit of protection against wind. And these coriander is just a beautiful example of what a cover can achieve, because they went in the ground as small seedlings on the 1st of October from a sowing of the 7th of September. And they've survived the winter as quite small plants, but we've been picking coriander all winter. And a lot of it I attribute to this cover, which is plant-based. It's made by a company called Andermatt in Switzerland, I believe. And you can buy it from Crocus on my website. In the description I'll put a product link where you can see it and buy it if you want to. And it's more expensive than plastic-based mesh, but look at the result. It's very light, and so it's just this is a big value as well, especially in the winter when stuff blows away. It's just been here with this many stones and we haven't needed to worry about it at all with these fantastic results. There's a bit of landcress actually up the other end, also doing nicely. And then in contrast to mesh, so I would call this mesh, even though it's kind of serving a bit as a fleece. Mesh is more about keeping wind off and keeping animals off. This is fleece here. The fleece is softer and warmer, and it often comes in a thicker grade, 30 grams per square metre, but this is 25, and I got it from Quick Crop, and I'm really pleased with it because you can see how you can see the plant through it. Whereas with the 30, things are pretty invisible. That can make a difference. Rain goes through, you don't need to worry about watering, but it converts otherwise wasted sunlight at this time of year in the spring particularly into warmth. Whereas the mesh over those spring cabbage that were planted in late September, that doesn't really keep warmth in, but it keeps a bit of wind off and keeps the pigeons off. In that case, that's a big one, and also rabbits if you had that. So mesh is really useful, but that is a plastic product. It will last at least 10 years. And you can get that from Gardening Naturally, for example. You can find all these on products pages of my website, reference links. And then behind there is purple sprouting broccoli being protected against pigeons by bird netting. So that's the third category, and it's pretty invisible, as you can see. UV treated polypropylene. So you've got mesh against insects mostly, but for some warmth. You've got fleece, particularly for warmth, mainly to use until May, and bird netting any time of year.